Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Major General Monte Roan, Commanding General of the 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley, welcome to the Victory with Honors ceremony in honor of Brigadier General Matthew Hardman, the outgoing Deputy Commanding General Support. Hosting today's ceremony is Major General Monte Roan, Commanding General, 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley. The Victory with Honors ceremony is a cherished Big Red One tradition, paying tribute to our most senior leaders as they arrive and depart the division. In attendance for today's ceremony are Major General and Mrs. Roan, Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Eubanks, Brigadier General Hardman, Colonel and Mrs. McLean, Lieutenant General Retired and Mrs. Dodson, Mr. and Mrs. Scott Stuckey, Commissioner Giordano, distinguished troopers, family and friends of the Big Red One. Today, the 1st Infantry Division Artillery Salute Battery is being led by Staff Sergeant Houston, and the 1st Infantry Division Band is being led by Staff Sergeant Dispro. 1st Sergeant Morgan Hicks is presenting a bouquet of red roses to Brigadier General Hardman on behalf of Mrs. Sandy Hardman. The roses are in full bloom, which symbolizes our love and respect for her devotion and loyal support of the 1st Infantry Division soldiers and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please direct your attention to your left, there you will observe Sergeant Fritsch and members of the 1st Infantry Division Artillery prepare and fire Old Thunder, a replica of an 1855 model 3-inch ordnance cannon half-section. The period cannon pays tribute to our past history tied to Hamilton's own. Hamilton's legacy continues to this day with 1-5 Field Artillery, which is the oldest serving unit in the regular Army. The firing of the cannon will signal the start of the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation given by Chaplain Major Owen Chandler, the 1st Infantry Division Deputy Division Commanding Chaplain.
I invite you to pause and pray as I pray in my tradition. God, gracious and just, powerful and purposeful is your presence within our lives. May your divine being meet us in this moment, a celebration wrought from duty and sacrifice and honor. May your blessing pour forth as promising as dawn's first light, which renews and illuminates and ushers in opportunities to live with courage and hope and inspiration, to be the stewards of this sacred story in this long military profession. For your scriptures tell of times and tell of seasons of life, times of grief, times of turmoil, times when our enemy's thunder seeks to be the loudest voice. But today, we stand fast in all of that uncertainty. And on today, we stand in this time and in this place, and we lift up the goodness of life. For within deep humility, we rest within the joy of a service done well, of service done with integrity, with creativity, with clear accountability, all hallmarks of this proud, long tradition of the 1st Infantry Division, all hallmarks of the inspirational leader that we seek to honor right now, relentless in duty and dedication. Thus, we give you gratitude, God. May your hand continue to guide the journey ahead for General Hardman. May you continue to find favor over this storied division, and may you steadfastly hold our country within your heart, no matter the season of life, now and forever. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Please join me in welcoming Major General Monte Roan, the Commanding General, 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley.
It's days like this that I wish I had a little hair. Just a little. So please be patient with me. You know, as I told the team, today for me has been a lot about pride. Proud to be a Big Red 1 soldier, grateful and humbled to be the Commanding General of the 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley. 109 years is a long time to do anything. But when you look at this division, its legacy of warfighting excellence, its legacy of taking care of soldiers and their families, its legacy of innovation, its legacy of always being on the forefront of things that our Army is trying to do, but more importantly, our legacy of being the anchor of the Army's warfighting force. I'm going to tell you, I'm proud, I'm grateful, I'm humbled, but I fully understand the sacrifice that it took to get us here. We talked about the 627 soldiers on Omaha Beach, but the number that I keep in the forefront of my mind all the time is the 13,582 troopers that have worn this patch, the Big Red 1 patch, that never made it home. So I'd ask you all, on this birthday, please continue to keep our soldiers, their families, the ones that are here, currently serving, but all the veterans, retirees, and all the folks that never made it back home. Let us not ever forget their service and the sacrifice, because they all gave their tomorrows so we can stand here and enjoy today and say farewell to Matt Hardman. So please give our veterans, retirees, and all those who've worn this patch a round of applause. In 1943, as the Big Red 1 fought its way through a grueling campaign of North Africa and Sicily, Major General Terry Allen famously declared, "Nothing in hell must stop the 1st Division." That was more than a battle cry. It was a mandate, a standard of warfighting excellence that forged the legacy of this division. For 109 years, through trenches, beaches, jungles, mountains, and deserts, the Big Red 1 has lived by those words. Today, as we bid farewell to Danger 9, Brigadier General Matt Hardman and his family, it's fitting that we do so on the 109th birthday of America's 1st Division. Please join me in recognizing our veterans, retirees, and all those associated with the Big Red 1, whose service sustained 109 years of warfighting excellence and an unwavering commitment to caring for our soldiers, their families, and civilians across the Big Red 1. Happy birthday, 1st Division. Leaders, Friends and families of the 1st Infantry Division, welcome to today's Victory with Honor ceremony. It's great to celebrate this occasion surrounded by so many friends of the Big Red One. A special welcome to Lieutenant General Retired Dotson, Brigadier General Retired Maddox, Fort Riley Distinguished Troopers, Lady Troopers, state elected officials, and our teammates from both Manhattan and Junction City. Moreover, please join me in recognizing the soldiers of the 1st Infantry Division Salute Battery, the Division Band, which is absolutely the best band in the land, the protocol team, and all those whose hard work made today's ceremony possible. The Victory with Honor ceremony is one of our Army's enduring traditions, recognizing leaders whose service has strengthened America's 1st Division. For 109 years, the 1st Division has stood at the point of decision for our nation. When America needs a formation to lead, it calls the fighting first. And for more than a century, our purpose has remained unchanged. And even today, with the current leaders here, we're clear-eyed in terms of why we exist. We exist for one reason and one reason only. When directed, we deploy, we fight, and we win decisively anywhere in the world. That legacy endures because of leaders like Matt Hardman, leaders who put the mission first, uphold standards, and care deeply for our soldiers and their families. Yet, as every soldier in this formation knows, no one serves alone. Nearly 15 years ago, the 38th Chief of Staff of the Army, General Ray Ordinero, reminded us that the strength of our nation is our Army, that the strength of our Army is our soldiers, and that the strength of every soldier, including the Hardmans and the Roans, is our families. And he ended it with, that's what makes us Army strong. Sandy, I know you're not here today, but you're watching. You embody those words. Thank you for everything you've done for our soldiers, their families, and the entire Fort Riley community. Michelle and I are personally grateful for our time together, and your presence here at Fort Riley, Kansas will sincerely be missed. Matt and Sandy's story began long before the Army. They grew up in a neighborhood or two apart, in Pensacola, Florida, of all places, and they attended the same high school. That lifelong partnership has been a source of strength throughout their military journey, an important part of Matt's success as a leader. And to Ben and Abby, your father has many titles, but the one he values most is Dad. Thank you for supporting your parents, and we wish you both all the best and safe travels and all the things you're going to do in a fun and happy senior year of high school. That strong foundation that Matt has at home has allowed him to effectively lead here at Fort Riley. Matt arrived to the Big Red One with a warfighter's pedigree. I saw this firsthand years ago when I served as the 1st Brigade 4ID commander. He was my senior OCT, or what they call Bronco 07, out at the National Training Center. So he gets an opportunity to shadow the brigade commander, so the Chief of Operations group can go look at the rotation, keep it on plan, and things of that nature. Even then, he had a trainer's eye for excellence and a no-nonsense approach to standards. During his time here, Matt drove excellence across our formation. He did not simply just talk about being fit, inspired, disciplined, trained, and ready. He lived it, and he expected it from everyone around him. He was the architect of the division's success during Operation Freedom's Reaper, helping transform equipment readiness across the force. He played a critical role in preparing all 5 brigades for their combat training center rotations, and also setting the conditions for the division command posts and also the staff to be successful during Warfighter 2603. Following our Division of Dirt rotation, Matt ensured the rear command post was ready for the demands of large-scale combat operations. And because of his leadership, this division is more lethal, more disciplined, and better prepared for its upcoming deployment to Europe. Yet for all those operational accomplishments, Matt's greatest impact has been his leadership. He is calm under pressure, humble in success, candid in counsel, and when the moment allows, he brings just enough humor to remind us all not to take ourselves so seriously. He is also an exceptional baker, which he proved on numerous occasions. And let me just share something with everyone who's eaten Matt's cakes or pies or biscuits and breads that he's made. They are not low fat, okay? Regardless of what he tells you, they are not low fat, so be careful, okay? Matt, I begin my remarks today talking about General Terry Allen's words of wisdom. Nothing in hell must stop the 1st Division. You have done your part and then some to ensure that these standards remain unbroken here in the Big Red One. As you depart Fort Riley for your next assignment, take that fighting first spirit with you. Continue building disciplined formations. Continue demanding excellence. and continue leaving absolutely nothing at rest as you continue to build credible formations across our force. On behalf of the soldiers, families, and civilians of the 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley, Michelle and I wish Team Hardman safe travels and all the best in the years ahead. Brother, thank you for your service, thank you for your commitment to excellence, and thank you for strengthening the Big Red One. You will always have a home right here at Fort Riley, Kansas, whenever you want to return. No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great. Duty first. Thank you again, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Deputy Commanding General for support for the 1st Infantry Division, Brigadier General Matthew Hardman.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today on the Big Red One's birthday, and I'm just grateful to get to share this day with the Big Red One's birthday. You know, the sending off of the Hardmans in the typical professional way and style of the Big Red One of Fort Riley in the Flint Hill region. Major General Roan and Mrs. Roan, Command Sergeant Major and Mrs. Eubanks, Lieutenant General Retired and Mrs. Dodson, Mr. and Mrs. Stuckey, old troopers and lady troopers, distinguished guests and friends, thank you so much for who you are and what you've done and what you continue to do for the 1st Infantry Division, for me and for my family. So thank you. Major General Roan says it all the time. I hear him calling to me. And the history of this division is calling. It's palpable, it's alive. The legacy is here, it's right here, it's in this division, but it's not just the historic setting or the proud colors with these brilliant streamers, which is its testimony of past duty and victory. The legacy is here with us and the officers, non-commissioned officers and soldiers in this division today. And I'm incredibly grateful and humbled to have served with all of you in this amazing division, the 1st Division. To Sergeant Major Garza, Matt Dean, entire G3 and protocol team, thank you for putting this together. To the band and color guard, thank you. And to the salute battery, as Napoleon said, artillery brings a bit of class to what otherwise would be a vulgar affair. So thank you so much for what you do. To this amazing community, thank you. To all the retired Army leaders, community leaders, and just great Americans that nurture and support the division. You're amazing, and your positivity and energy really does give this place an extra edge. While my time in the division has been incredibly special, I think it's been even more so for Sandy, Ben, and Abby. And I don't think Sandy and I could have ever asked for a better place to raise our kids and help them make that transition to adulthood, which is really my highest compliment. You've made an incredible impact on them. The Kansas humility, the sense of service here, the grace, and the often underrated attribute of decency that I've seen from people here. And I am so grateful to have gotten to live here, to have gotten to be your neighbor, to get to know you. And so whether in the neighborhood or in Junction City or Manhattan, you've brought us into your community. And for me, a big part of that community has been an involvement with football. You're gonna hear that, but it's the U football. World Cup's here, so soccer. Most of the coaches that Ben and Abby have been soldiers or retired soldiers, and now those retired soldiers are Army civilians. So Sergeant Gibson, Sean, and Craig, thank you for what you've done for my kids. To the Riley Football Club, led by Sergeant First Class Hambacho and Staff Sergeant Calacho and Russ, thanks for including us, but most importantly, thanks for taking care of our soldiers, for giving them a venue to be fit, inspired, and disciplined. You're making a profound difference in young people's lives and in this community. Finally, thank you, Oscar. Thanks for being here. To Sung, to Nat, to Tim. I'm better, and my kids are better for the community that you build and foster that brings people together and provides a positive, welcoming, and healthy outlet for our soldiers and their families. So thank you. Now, I've been blessed to be on a great team here. 2 great chiefs of staff, Travis and Greg. You guys have made this staff, which is great, greater than the sum of the parts. And that's a testament to the staff's hard work, but really also your inspiration and leadership. It's been great serving with you and watching you get after it. To my deputy teammates, Terry and Jabari, thank you for your leadership, mentorship, and friendship. To the Danger 8/9 team, Sergeant Moody, Thanks for being a great non-commissioned officer. You're without a doubt one of the easiest people to be around. You exude kindness, positivity, and dependability. You're the kind of sergeant I pray that my kids would get if they were in the Army. To Lieutenants Dewey, Chatlin, and Dusney, the kids are all right. Your professionalism, your diligence, your passion for doing what is right motivated and inspired me every day. To the commanders, the civilians, the staff, thank you all. You've punched above your weight. You lay it out there every day, and I'm grateful to have served with you. But I want to single out two groups, to the command sergeants major and the sergeants major and the majors. So first, to our non-commissioned officers, starting with Sergeant Major Hugh Banks. You put the sergeant in command sergeant major. Pumped to see what you're going to do here in the division. Grateful to be on the team with you. To the brigade and the battalion sergeants major, the proof is what you did at the National Training Center. You brought it every single day, and you are changing this division, and you are changing our Army, and I'm grateful to have gotten to watch you do it. Special shout out to Sergeant Major Garza. One leader can make a difference, and Sergeant Major, thanks for being that difference. You're the soldier I want to be. Thank you. To the majors, you guys are lonely, but you make me want to work. You make me want to work harder. You make me want to play big. You make me want to be better. You make me want to drive through friction and discomfort by your personal example. To all the brigade executive officers, to all the officers on the division staff, and particularly the front office, Majors Bauman and Bridgeford, and especially Major Bentler and Major Chandler, my people in the rear command post, thank you. When my days in the Army are up, I will sleep incredibly well knowing that you're leading it. You've been doing the dirty work in the engine room of the good ship Danger, and you've been driving action, and we're all grateful for it. Fit, inspired, disciplined, trained, ready. Simple things to say, hard to turn into action. From day one, sir, you have been clear and focused on warfighting excellence. Fight and win decisively and whenever and wherever the nation sends us. We're in the most difficult time to be in an Army, the unknown. No patch chart, no familiar enemy or locale, unknown distance, unknown pace, a race against time, to be ready for the unknown. Absolutely nothing at rest in an unknown period takes tremendous discipline, focus, and drive. This is what real soldiering looks like. This is the hard part. All we can do is control what we control. Sir, you have given that purpose, direction, and motivation that we all needed. And this division's responded. Danger gauntlets, National Training Center rotations, warfighters deployments. Watching all the brigades put hands on Black Horse, watching your staff grind, press, and strive to put hands on the OPFOR and the warfighter. This is a division, and it has the soldiers that makes its own luck. I'm so grateful to have had your leadership, your coaching, your example, and your inspiration. There's an entire generation of soldiers that know how to win. And because of you and because of that, they're going to be prepared for the chaos of the unknown. Thank you. Sir, to you, to Michelle and Morgan, thank you so much for being such wonderful role models of class and grace. The Hardmans have been incredibly blessed to have you as neighbors, and we count you among the best we've ever had. So thank you so much. The long motto call!
The long motto call!
From hell to victory!
We are the fighting first!
No mission too difficult!
No sacrifice too great!
Duty first!
Victory!
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please remain standing as we prepare to render the appropriate honors as the colors of the United States are lowered and the flag is folded. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of learning. I stand guard with power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I am recognized all over the world. I am saluted. I am loved. I am revered. I am respected. And I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 250 years. I was flown at Valley Forge, Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Appomattox. I was there at San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, in the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, and the beaches of Normandy. Raised on Guam, Okinawa, and Korea, carried in Kaesong and Saigon through Vietnam, Bosnia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Know me, I was there. I led my troops. I was dirty, battle-tested, and tired. But my soldiers cheered for me, and I was proud. America was attacked by cowardly fanatics, and many lives have been lost. But those who would seek to destroy me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I have helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it's by those whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stood watch over the uncharted frontiers of space from my vantage point on the moon. I have borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hours are yet to come, when I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, when I am flown at half-staff to honor my soldiers, or when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory, and long may I wave. At this time, Staff Sergeant Foreman is presenting Brigadier General Hardman the flag flown over the division headquarters. At this time, Sergeant Fabian from the Division Artillery Salute Battery is presenting Brigadier General Hardman with the last round fired, signifying his final day as the Deputy Commanding General for support for the 1st Infantry Division. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the playing and singing of the Big Red One song and the Army song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's Victory with Honors ceremony. A receiving line will be formed on the Big Red One for those who wish to bid farewell to Brigadier General Hardman and his family. Please use the center walkway as you move forward. Thank you for your attendance.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Good job. Thank you.